because I think you're going to touch on my next point, which is, I mean, this is your third trip in a row to Nigeria. As you travel across the continent, across Africa, how would you compare the opportunity set with the other markets that you're excited about? Now this is a big analogy from the investment community. Asia is, I mean, Africa's Asia, 20 years away and all of this. But as you look at opportunities that you're going to bring into the fold and nurture and develop and finance.
You know, it's different in almost every country, and I would say different things trigger it. The first thing I'd say is I've always believed in the retail nature of leadership. You know, in other words, you know, I could go to Davos or I could go to other meetings and meet with all the ministers from Africa. But it's a different sense than you get when you come here, see the country. You know, when you need to know Nigeria from a couple different angles. You need to know it from the angle of how does Shell feel about it. You need to know how the vice president feels about it. You need to know how Aliko Dangote feels about it. You need to experience a 2.5-hour traffic jam on the bridge going to the airport in Lagos to know how your team really, you know, what's their life like every day. So you need to experience to be good at. So I'd start there. And then I'd say, you know, this week I was in Ethiopia. Ethiopia has hydropower. They have a big population. They have a very centrally controlled government. You know, we have one strategy for that. Then I was in Kenya. You know, Kenya is a mixture of some resources, the ability to work on wind energy, things like that. We have a different strategy for Kenya. Then I went to Mozambique. Mozambique is a big oil and gas, as big as Brazil, population of 25 million people, different strategy there. And then we come to Nigeria. Nigeria has, you know, all the natural resources, pretty good entrepreneurial class. So I think we're smart enough today to have differentiated strategies for each one of the countries, all behind big themes like gas to power, infrastructure investment, locomotives. But in the end, you've got to be in all these places. You've got to be local on all these places. You've got to have local teams in all these places. And what I always tell our team, you know, in a company, you can't afford to have cartoons. You can't afford to say, this is Africa at 30,000 feet. I don't care about Africa at 30,000 feet. I want Africa. I want Nigeria right here, right now. What's going on? How can we move faster? And I think that's what you get when you travel through. Now, I'd go around the horn and then come back to Nigeria and say, okay, now, when you're CEO, you know, your team really kind of tells you what you need to do, right? And then you work together on who and how and all those things. But the CEO uniquely does the win, you know? Does the thing that says, okay, it's going to be the next 5 years, we're going to go along. I'm going to put all my chips right here. And I think that's what we've tried to do in Africa, is really say, this is the time. Sometime between 2007 and 2020, the die will be cast for G in Africa for the next 50 years. So let's go. The race is on, let's go. Let's think about it in that context. And I would say we're right in the middle of an investment period for the company that will set our potential for 30 or 40 years.
Doing business in Africa, you can't afford to be without Africa Investor.